Top of the morning, Pula's Peace Saints. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. Yes, it is a Monday, and we get excited on Mondays, obviously, because it's a fresh start to the week. So I'm just hoping that you guys are excited as I am, and you are going to give this week your all. I mean, we're almost close to year end. I know most of you are tired. I know you've been thinking it has been a long year. But hey, we still got the energy to push through. I mean, these are the last months, and I believe we can still do it with energy, with zeal, with eagerness, because it means we've got 2 months to actually reach the goals that we've had for this year, but couldn't really work on because of lockdown. So today we're talking about the fourth upside down principle for success, right? Which is stop planning. If you remember last week, we covered 3. The first one, decide who you are. The second one, we said reality is overrated. The third one, we said forget motivation to get ahead. Today, we are saying stop planning if you want to succeed, right? So what do I mean? Do I mean you must just jump out at any idea that pops in your mind and go for it? You know what? Sometimes that's exactly what you need. But no, that's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we take so much time planning. We take too much time planning, trying to perfect something that will never ever be perfect on paper. I mean, I know I've lost out on a whole lot of opportunities because God would put something in my heart, and I'll start asking myself 10 million questions, and then I would ponder on it day after day up until I started losing motivation for such an idea, and eventually it will just disappear into thin air. And you know what? When you get to the end of the year and you realize that you didn't achieve anything that you plan to achieve, then you start blaming God. You start wanting to say, but God, why is my life so stagnant? I mean, people go out there and do beautiful things, but I never get opportunities, or I never get to achieve the things that I want to achieve. What's wrong with me, Lord? What didn't you put in me that you put in other people? Hey, those are the conversations I used to have with God, right? But then I started realizing actually there are a whole lot of ideas that God gives me throughout the year in the hope that I will act on them. And because He can only help me once I start taking a step towards the things that He's showing me. At times, God wants us to learn, so He will not most of the time do things for us, but He will show us what we can do. Then He will push us. He will give us the energy that we need. He will give us the motivation. And sometimes He will open doors that otherwise wouldn't have opened had we not taken the first step. So because I never used to journal my ideas down, even by the end of the year, I wouldn't know how many ideas and opportunities I missed out on. So that's why I keep saying, you know what? When you get an idea, think about the basics and run with it. But please don't take too long. Don't say you want to get it out when it's perfect. I was listening to Steve Harvey the other day, and he was saying, you know what? Success is a push, an everyday push. You will never get a perfect route to success. He says, you know what? Even if you have a perfect plan, but life will happen. Obviously, he said it in his American accent and American lingo. I will not try to do that, right? But the point is, whatever it is that you're planning, no matter how perfect you think you have it, life will happen. I mean, on paper, we don't have all these life events that could happen. I mean, if you think about the plans that you had for 2020, and in March, we were hit by lockdown. So life happens. So unless you actually start acting acting on that little tiny 20% that you have, you will not ever start anything. I like what even Carmichael's say. He says, you know what? He's got a 20% rule to act. If he thinks of an idea, he thinks of 20% of the work that he needs to start, and then he goes for it. He doesn't wait to go to 30-50% of perfection. As long as he has the 20% start, he goes for it. Then he figures the rest along the way. And it's working. You know what? I know most of us are risk averse. Some are risk takers. But I am saying, don't expect your plans to be perfect. If you have an idea and you've got comfort or comfortability around your idea, then go for it. Sometimes, when I talk about comfort, I'm not saying that you know how you're going to do it, where you're going to get the money, you know every single step. I'm talking about you've got peace in your spirit regarding the idea that you have, that if you take a step, you are not so terrified. You've got some sort of peace, even if you're fearful about all the other things that need to happen for you to be able to take the first step. But you've got that inner small peace that says, you know what? If I get this thing right, it might be just what I've needed for my life to turn around. Then go for it. Obviously, planning starts with when you're thinking about the idea, when you're starting to think, okay, what do you have right now that can help you towards your idea? What do you need immediately that will help get your idea off the ground? Once you've got that, try it out. There's nothing to lose. Yes, people may laugh who are around you. People will always laugh. But I tell you, eventually they will start asking you how you did it. And you will tell them, you stopped planning. You know what? Guys, I know the minute I stopped trying to perfect things, before I got them out there, the minute I started realizing that I needed to do live videos, for example, and those kind of videos, you can only test them out in front of people. When people are watching, it's not something that you can do on the side and come, like these recorded videos where I perfect it, and once I feel like this is what I want, then I take it out. With live videos, it's a different ballgame. Had I waited or wanted to be perfect before I start a live video, I wouldn't have conversations with Pulaa Montz right now. So, you know what? I know I'm one of those people who don't like taking risks. I amaze myself at the things that I'm doing these days, but I force myself. It is basically things that are outside my character to do. But I'm pushing hard to show you that even you who are scared of taking risks, it's possible for us if you just push yourself and accept that you will be embarrassed at some point and be comfortable with embarrassment, right? I don't know. I have to really force myself to forget about the embarrassing moments. But what I've learned is that the more I get embarrassed because I'm trying to learn something new, the more I get used to it, the more I can get over the embarrassment quicker than I used to. So it takes practice. Everything takes practice and focus. Push yourself to take those plans that are on your paper. They've been there for years. They've been there for months. It is time that you get out of your shell and put them out there. I tell you, if you put one out, if you take one step towards what you're wanting to do, the second step will get easier. The third step, even more easier. So it is just taking that one step that is normally so difficult. But I tell you, when you start doing it, you'll realize it will not be as bad as you have created in your mind. So, like I said, if you wanna go ahead with your dreams and goals, if you wanna succeed, stop planning. And guys, I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm hoping you've been noticing this. This is Era by DJ Zinhle. This is my first in the collection by DJ Zinhle, and I'm hoping you're liking it. So if you want to have one for yourself, go to their page, Era by DJ Zinhle. I love it. Let's support our local brands. Let's just make these brands fashionable. And people have been asking me about my hair. Who did my hair? They love my hair. So if you love my hair and you want one, you want this type of wig for yourself, then go to Facebook, find Nancy Molekwa, or go to Instagram, find @FierceBlack, and then you will find the woman who did this for me. So I will post those pages on the comments in this video. Okay, so I'm hoping you enjoyed this, and remember, I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach, signing out.